ahead and he kills Vishwarupan. The moment he kills Vishwarupan because he was unarmed, Indra gets the Brahmahati dosham. Once he gets the Brahmahati dosham, he goes here and there trying to find a way to get rid of the sin. Time. He goes to, the moment he goes across the home, completely purified. He gets back the glow which was there in him. He gets back all his powers. The moment his life comes back to him, he goes back and he regains the position of Indra. And that time, he worships to Paramashiva and prays to Paramashiva, saying that place had unique vibration. So Paramashiva says him to go and see. And when he goes there and sees there is a very, very powerful Shivalinga over there. And that Shivalinga, then he realizes because of Paramashiva's grace, and he has regained back all his powers and was atoned of his sins. That time, from then on, he creates a beautiful city. That city is called Madurai. And Madurai, Devi Parashakti Meenakshi is so possessive of Madurai, she'll never ever let anything happen to me. And the way how Paramashiva as Sundareshwara was so available to all the people of Madurai is something really, really beautiful. And we will see. I'm so excited for what all he's going to do as his Leelas today, because what is going to be happening, the Darshan that is going to be happening, the way the Leelas, the divine plays that are going to be done in each one's life is what I am so eagerly and so excitedly waiting about. Because the Leelas that Paramashiva did as Sundareshwara, the whole, whenever you ask anyone for the story of Sundareshwara, more than anything, it is all about how much he was available to the people. How he was so available for each and every person. And there is a next Shiva Leela where Bhagavan Paramashiva is feeding a stone elephant with a sugar cane. This is a very beautiful Shiva Leela of Bhagavan Paramashiva. This is just another example of one of his Shiva Leelas. There are 64 such beautiful Leelas that Bhagavan Paramashiva plays. And one such is the where he manifested as Ellamballa Siddhar, where he manifested as a sage, a young, graceful, and a beautiful sage, just to teach the king a lesson. So this is where Bhagavan Paramashiva comes down as Ellamballa Siddhar. The form of Paramashiva as a Siddha, as a sage, who can manifest all kind of powers, who can manifest everything. So once there was a king, Pandya king, who the whole Pandya kingdom, there were many people of other religions that were invading, and the whole kingdom was going down. And Paramashiva takes the form of a Siddha, and he comes down just to remind people of what each and every person is, the Paramashivatva in each and every one. And this Siddha performs various different Leelas, miracles, everything. And now the whole town of Madurai is talking about this Siddhar. And of course, no one knew it was Paramashiva. And people were all talking about this Siddhar, and everybody saying, any direction he goes, he just touches a stone, it becomes gold. And he just blows air into someone, that person is healed of diseases. Now the whole city of Madurai is amazed. How suddenly there is someone with so much of powers and such grace, and such, just people got pulled to him. So the king gets to know this, and immediately he says, who is that person? Call them to the court, and I want to meet that sage. Now the court, the soldiers also come, the ministers and soldiers come to the Siddha, and the Siddha is sitting just outside the temple where he belongs to. He just sits there playfully with a smile on his face, and he just sits there with all grace in Padmasana. And the soldiers seeing the sage, they say, the king wants to see you. Who are you? Where are you from? People say you perform so much of, you have so many powers and you perform so many miracles. So the king is summoning you to the court. Now the sage says, no, this is my place. I am the king. Who is he? Now the soldiers are shocked. He's saying, how can you speak like this? The king is calling you, you better come. The Siddha says, no, if the king wants, let him come and see me here. Now the soldiers are said, and then they go to the king, complain. Now the king gets even more shocked. Who is this person who can talk like this? And of course, little did he know he was talking to the king of the cosmos, Paramashiva himself. So immediately the king comes, and since the Siddha did not come to the king decided to meet the Siddha. And the Siddha placed himself on the northwest of the temple tower, the northwest Gopuram of Madurai temple. And on the first day of Tamil month, Tai, the Pandyan worshipped the temple, and then he saw the Siddha was seated there, and he completely with his legs folded, with that pride, that grace, and that beauty. Now the king saw, and he thought, he's not even going down to me. How can he sit? He's just a normal ascetic. How can he sit like this? And the king saw that, and immediately the people asked the Siddha to move away, or the saint to move away. The king asked him about his land, where he's from, his name, and what he wanted. And the Siddha replied that he was a wanderer, and he was from far away land. And he was, however, he lived in Kashmir, in the city of Kasi. All those who lived great life of begging belonged to his class. And he was an expert on Vedas, and he had no expectation from anybody. But he will perform miracles for people and give them what they want. Now, on hearing this reply, the king thought, what? He talks as if he's a king of the whole cosmos, and he gets angry. And the king showed him a sugar cane. The king just handed him a sugar cane, and he says, what, if you really think you are an Ellam Valla Siddhar, you think you have every power and everything, can you make the stone elephant eat? The Siddha sported a smile on his face. And the king says, if you feed this, then we all will know that you are an all-powerful Siddha. The Siddha said he expected nothing from anyone, and looked at the stone elephant. Just the moment the Siddha's eyes fell on the stone elephant, the elephant became alive. He ate the sugar cane, completely consumed the sugar cane. And he ate the sugar cane from the king's hand. And again the Siddha looked at the elephant, and the elephant also took away the whole pearl necklace from the king's neck. The king's guard tried to attack the Siddha, but were made to stand like stone statues. Then the king realized none other than Paramashiva can come down and sport such a Diva Leela just to remind the king, just to remove the delusion from the king. Immediately the king falls at the feet of Siddhar, Ellam Valla Siddhar, and asks for forgiveness. Out of his compassion, as always, Paramashiva then makes the elephant back into stone, liberates the guards, and then he restores the pearl garland also back on the king's neck. Thus, just reminding how Paramashiva, as Bhagavan Sundareshwara, is always available. Then he disappeared. To this day, we have the stone elephant in the Madurai temple, in the northwestern Gopuram of Madurai, which ate the sugarcane that Ellam Valla Siddhar fed to the elephant. And to this day, we have so many evidences, so many living evidences to these leelas that Bhagavan Paramashiva as Sundareshwara performed. And today, he himself is coming down just for all of us, just to be available to all of us, to continue manifest his leelas in all of our lives. Let us all continue to prepare. Let each for this very, very special Sundareshwara Paramashiva Sayujya Samadhi Darshan.
Now, what happens during the Darshan? What happens now? We are going to be having the live Sundareshwara Paramashiva Sayujya Samadhi Darshan. But what exactly happens to us during this Darshan? See, as we are asking the questions, you all can go ahead and comment. And Nithyanandam Jagannathan seeing a comment. Nithyanandam. If all of you that are watching us live right now, you all can also go ahead and comment. So what exactly is going to happen to you during this darshan? This time, there's a very powerful process called mirroring of neurons that is going to happen. As Nithyanandam, Govind Rajagopal, Nithyanandam. You all can also post where exactly you are from, which location you are from, and go ahead and share this with all the people and share here with us how many people you shared this video with. because in less than 45 minutes, we are going to be having the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. So it's like super exciting. See, during this, we will actually be having the mirroring of neurons that will be happening in our system. Now, what is mirroring of neurons? Mirroring of neurons means, for example, when you see someone smiling, automatically you will smile without even like knowing, or sometimes you just feel happy if you see someone smiling. You yourself will automatically feel happy. Why? Because at that point, without you doing that action of smiling, the neurons in that person's brain is getting side of us. And our brains are also reflecting that. To be a Sundareshwara, Sundareshwara means the most handsome, most beautiful Lord. So that is what literally Sundareshwara means, Sundara Ishvara. So today we are going to be having the darshan of the most handsome, most beautiful, most graceful being, most graceful incarnation of Paramashiva. And it's so exciting because that neurons are going to get mirrored into our brains. So all of you that are watching us live right now, please go ahead and share with us how many people that you have shared this video with. Go ahead and share that.
Now let us enter into the preparation for the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. Bhava Samadhi Darshan is when an event which is which does not happen in time and space. Rather, that is an event which lifts you out of the time and space dimension. When you see Paramashiva, when you see an avatar manifesting the various different dimensions of Paramashiva, your brain, the neurons in your brain start mirroring the same. There is a beautiful verse from the Malini Vijayotara Tantra, which explains this process called Shakti Pada, which explains how exactly the mirroring of neurons happen. The verse from Malini Vijayotara Tantra explains this whole process. Kathana Shakti Padadva Yadva Padavalokanat Prasadat Swaguro Samyak Prapyate Paramam Padam. By the enlightening teachings of the Guru Kathana, by the Shakti Pada, the graceful transmission of the spiritual powers, by looking at the sacred feet of the Guru, or by the complete loving favor of the Guru Prasada, the ultimate goal and space, Paramam Padam, is attained. This is the verse from Malini Vijayotara Tantra. Bhava Samadhi Darshan. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, our whole the neuron activity in our brain mirrors that of the avatar. Bhava is defined as directing and activating the emotional and spiritual energy that is created through meditation on the avatar. See, during this, as I was explaining, the brain neurons mirror, activate, and process all the observed movements or information of the avatar just by seeing, and without any kind of physical act of imitation. That means our entire body silently, without any movement, recreates what is happening distances far away, experiencing the superconscious energy radiated by the avatar. The science of Bhava Samadhi Darshan is so unique. It knows no distance, a phenomenon that the modern science is just discovering and terming as quantum tunneling. So what exactly happens during this time? Our thought per second rate drastically reduces, and we relax into a space which is beyond any thoughts, becoming mentally at ease in coexisting dimensions beyond duality, where we and the divine become one, unconditioned by the parameters of time and space. So, like for example, if you see here in this diagram on our screen, you will see here actually, like let's say
electron, a low energy electron. In quantum physics, you see it both as particle and as a wave. As a particle, a low energy electron, if it has to cross over an energy barrier, let's say an energy hill, an uphill, as a particle, it cannot cross over it because it needs more energy to cross over it, right? But as a wave, it can propagate through it. That is the phenomenon of quantum tunneling. This is exactly the science behind the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. That is why Bhava Samadhi Darshan knows no distance. It is beyond any physical, any physical distance or physical obstacles. There is no obstacle for it. You can be sitting in New York, you can be sitting in Australia, you can be sitting anywhere in the world. But you will be experiencing what is happening in the avatar inside. This is what is the mirroring of neurons also. Same science is imposed on the people who witness the Bhava Samadhi. This is because our neurons are able to mirror the neurons of the divine immediately. And through the quantum tunneling, we are able to travel through the divine energy and mirror exactly the same neurons.
There's a beautiful verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, the 4th chapter. When Bhagavan Krishna once saw his own extraordinary sweetness reflected in a jeweled wall, he was amazed and he said, "How unprecedented and astonishing is this deep and indescribable sweetness of mine. Alas, even when I see it, I become greedy to enjoy its sweetness. Just like Radhika, when I see my own sweetness in the mirror, I become eager to taste it, but I can't. And after due consideration, I find that the only way to relish this sweetness is through the constitution of Sri Radhika." This is such a beautiful definition. This is exactly what it means Bhava Samadhi Darshan means. Because in Bhava Samadhi Darshan, even an avatar enjoys manifesting the various dimensions of the cosmos just for us. See, Bhava Samadhi Darshan is a science of Nijavatar, manifesting Paramashiva, which is the consciousness, the formless, which expresses through the being of Paramashiva, which is light body, called as Divya Sharira, and manifests as Nija Avatar, the physical embodied form for us to experience Paramashiva, the highest consciousness. When you have the darshan of various dimensions of Paramashiva, all the powerful cognitions, powerful experiences, powers of Paramashiva of that dimension gets awakened in you. This is what happens in the mirroring of neuron process. Take for example, Devi Parashakti expresses with Devi Parashakti's consciousness, formless, expresses through the being of Rajarajeshwari and manifests as Nija Avatara, the physical form, the embodied form as Devi Meenakshi, Bhagavan Sri Sundareshwara's divine consort. And similarly, Bhagavan Paramashiva, the consciousness, manifests through the being of Arunagiri Yogishwara, the light body, the Divya Sharira, and manifests as the physical embodied form as the Nija Avatara, as the supreme pontiff of Hinduism. Today, we are going to be having the Bhava Samadhi Darshan of Bhagavan Sundareshwara, who is the consciousness of Paramashiva manifesting as Bhagavan Sundareshwara in the Nija Avatara, the embodied form as the supreme pontiff of Hinduism. Archa, see, the Archa avatars, all the deities also reflect the consciousness and manifestation being of each and every superconscious energy. But human beings are not mature enough to receive the higher level experiences directly from the Archa avatar. Therefore, out of that extreme compassion, the avatar, the physical embodied form, happens to bridge the gap and create the experience of superconscious energy in all of us. When we have the Bhava Samadhi Darshan of the Nijavatar, manifesting the various beings of various dimensions of Bhagavan Paramashiva, all those powerful components, powerful cognitions of Bhagavan Paramashiva of that dimension gets awakened in us and starts manifesting in us. Bhagavan Paramashiva manifesting in the Nijavatara for us to experience the same is Bhava Samadhi Darshan. Bhava Samadhi Darshan is like the window to the infinite expanse of cosmos. It just manifests, oozes as conscious, causeless bliss in each and every one of us. Bhava Samadhi Darshan literally makes you as part of the huge energy wave of the cosmos. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, our very muscles learn to imbibe and radiate Paramashiva. Bhava Samadhi Darshan is like a window to the infinite expanse of consciousness, allowing us to glimpse the formless in a way we can understand.
To have a glimpse of the avatar, having the darshan of the avatar cleanses karmas of lifetimes together, creates a deep and lasting transformation. Now, what is the best space to receive this darshan from? It is the space of gratitude, because gratitude enables us to have all our Sakti Sankalpas, the conscious resolutions, needs, wants, everything in every level. You're ready to reflect Paramashiva. What is the best context to be in? Just have the prayer, O Paramashiva. You are the source of everything. You are everything. You are an embodied form of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhan, His Divine Purpose, Bhagavan Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam, are in this body. You are the source. Let me connect with you. Let you reveal yourself to me. Let me be the Bhava Samadhi. This will take a few minutes and get ready with the Panchopachara Puja kit before we enter the Paramashiva Dhyana.